Alright, so we just did our worst of the year video. Check that out. But now we get to talk about good movies.
Yay!
For once. Thank you. Wow! No, okay.
Alright.
So we're gonna do the same as we did last time. Dishonorable mentions number 10 and then number 9, 8, etc. Perry starting first with his honorable mentions. Let's jump right into it.
Unlike your honorable mentions, I limited it to 6.
I have like 30.
Alright. So for my honorable mentions, mid-90s, 8th grade, Mission Impossible Fallout, A Star is Born, Sorry to Bother You, First Reformed, and Black Klansman.
I'm very disappointed Spider-Verse didn't make your honorable mentions.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. But at least you liked the movie, so that's all that matters. Okay. And your number 10? That's starting how did we last time?
My number 10, Green Book.
Okay.
This was my number 5, but
Great
it
movie.
moved to number 10 because of all the movies I saw.
Cool.
You want to talk about great chemistry between actors? Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali.
One of the best pairs of the year.
Yes.
The best pair since Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Before them. You haven't seen it.
No.
So don't try to pull that card.
And this film actually has subtlety to it, which I feel like a lot of directors lack nowadays.
It takes a very serious subject and actually adds some like energy and fun to it to kind of make it more digestible.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it so good.
Yeah.
Because it's saying something along with being a legitimately great, entertaining movie with its message.
Right. And I remember as soon as I saw the poster for it, I got so hyped for it, and I was asking everyone about it, and I just knew going into this film that I was going to see one of the best films of the year, and that's exactly what I thought.
I think we all thought the same thing.
We were cracking up. We had such a great time with this movie.
I love this movie. Okay. So for my honorable mentions, so my first 20 honorable mentions are my 11 through 30. They're actually in order, then the last like 10 or so are not. Okay, so let's see. My first honorable mention is the one I actually want to talk about, and that's Hereditary, because like I love this movie so much, but I couldn't fit it in there. A very disturbing, creepy, but very powerful movie with the best performance by an actress this year in Toni Collette.
Yes.
Adore Hereditary, just couldn't quite fit it on there, and it's really annoying. And the rest of us read off. So after that, I got Incredibles 2, Creed 2, Paddington 2, Sorry to Bother You, Ready Player One, Boy Erased, A Simple Favor, Overlord, The House That Jack Built, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Bad Times at the El Royale, Instant Family, Searching, Madeline's Madeline, Christopher Robin, Isle of Dogs, Won't You Be My Neighbor, Bumblebee, Annihilation, and let's go for the last few. Ben is Back, Deadpool 2, The Favorite, First Man, Mary Poppins Returns, Hate You Give, Unfriended Dark Web, Flower, Solo, A Star Wars Story, Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, Blockers, Widows, Halloween, 8th grade, and mid-90s. There we go. That's all. And now for my number 10, which I accidentally took the list off. Actually, what am I doing? I actually do remember. I remember my top 10 by heart pretty much. So my number 10 is Spike Lee's Black Klansman, which actually I do kind of want to say the same thing I said earlier about Green Book. Takes a very serious subject matter and actually adds humor and fun to it. It doesn't make it just a slog to get through. It's just really depressing. It's a very rewatchable movie with great performances. Probably Spike Lee's best movie to date, to be honest, because I'm not a huge Spike Lee fan. It does kind of, in the last couple minutes, it doesn't destroy its message or anything, but the last 2 minutes aren't necessary. But apart from that, that's what brought it down to number 10. But apart from that, love this movie. Great story, hilarious. Great movie. Okay, so
Alright.
Tyler's honorable mentions.
Yes, now my honorable mentions are Ready Player One, The Mule, The Incredibles 2, Bohemian Rhapsody, and A Quiet Place.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
And then my number 10 is Bumblebee.
Oh.
Which I really liked this movie.
I really did too. Is it my honorable
It
mentions?
has the best human lead in a Transformers movie. Well, I mean, first off, it's the best
Transformers movie, yeah.
Which, because Haley Steinfeld is great. She actually has a character arc.
Yes.
And so does Bumblebee.
Yes. He goes from disliking the Smiths to loving the Smiths. Like, Barry's favorite arc of 2018.
Yeah, and then, of course, John Cena is exactly what The Rock should be.
There's a door in my way.
He has perfect comedic timing, as he said his honorable mentions with Blockers.
Yep, Blockers is a great movie.
He doesn't have an ego like Dwayne Johnson. I think he will do very well in Hollywood.
Yeah,
and this
so far he is.
Yep, and Bumblebee being a reboot is just what the franchise needed.
Yes.
Less Michael Bay.
More Travis Knight.
Yes.
Travis Knight all the way.
Kubo and the Two Strings is amazing, if y'all haven't seen
I know, I still gotta take time and see it.
It's so good. Okay. So
Alright, yeah.
And
number 9.
My number 9 is Leave No Trace.
Cool.
Yes.
The problem with films nowadays is they over-explain everything. This film is very cinematic. It's show me, don't tell me. That is what makes a great movie. And Leave No Trace is the prime example for that. I mean, Ben Foster, one of the most underrated actors of our generation.
Great performance.
He's killing it lately. And the ending to this movie, so poignant, so gut-wrenching. I can't express how much I love this movie. It really affected me on a, not just as a critic, but on a, as a,
out for a sec there.
just as a very emotional impact for me.
No, good movie. I just didn't like it as much as you did. But I do agree. I respect the hell out of it for not over-explaining everything.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful looking movie as well. So no.
And the one who played his daughter, great job. She has a bright future.
McKenzie, I think is her name. Yeah, she's
incredible.
Really good too. Okay, so my number 9. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I'll say that my number 9 is my number 9 on my worst list. Also, both my number 9s are the most recent movies I saw on both lists. So my number 9 is Beautiful Boy with Timothée Chalamet and Steve Carell. I say this movie hit me so hard. I didn't expect too much going into it because the reviews have been kind of average. But this movie genuinely blew me away. Timothée Chalamet deserves that Best Supporting Actor Oscar. Steve Carell gives one of his best performances yet. It's a very serious subject matter. It's a tough movie to watch, but it's so damn powerful. And the ending just floored me. Love this movie. I liked it more than Ben is Back. I know you did not. I still love Ben is Back. Great movie. But I think where both of them kind of have similar endings, but this one did it better and also has a conclusion, unlike Ben is Back, which is my biggest problem with that movie. But no, great movie, really tough subject matter, but very important. Loved it. Okay, number 9.
All right, my number 9 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Hell yeah!
You talk about the best Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2.
The best Spider-Man movie.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
But it is phenomenal. The main lead, Miles, he has a very satisfying arc, especially because I don't feel like I should delve into spoilers. I feel like if you haven't seen it...
No, for our best list, I don't want to do that.
You should absolutely watch this movie. And of course, Jake Johnson and Nick Cage steal the show as their respective characters. Just every line that comes out of Nick Cage's mouth is gold.
I'm gonna matches burn down to my fingertips just so I can feel something.
It's we don't pick the ballroom, we just dance.
Oh, yes. Just come. Oh! I Nick Cage came, just... Oh, yes.
Then, because on my worst list, I talked about bad villain reveals. This has a great one.
Oh, yeah. I knew it was coming because I know the comics, but still, and also the villain, I won't say he was voiced by, just so, because you'll know, spoilers. But great actor, we already talked about him, but yeah. So, that's all I gotta say about it.
So, we'll number 8, and a lot of people, this flew under a lot of people's radar, American Animal.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
You want to talk about a fantastic actor, Evan Peters. He gives it his all in this movie. And it's got the kid from Killing of a Sacred Deer. I can't remember the actor's name. But one of the most thrilling, on-the-edge seat films I have seen this year.
He had to get out of the edge of his seat to show you how intense it is.
You want to see a great heist film?
Yeah, I love heist movies.
Watch this movie. It is a definite must-watch if you love heist films.
Yeah, I love heist movies, so I gotta check it out.
And what's crazy is it's not only based on a true story, but it's very faithful. It doesn't feel very Hollywood where they change a lot of things for the movie's sake. And they actually have the people that the film is based upon, they make appearances in the movies.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, because they have like interviews
they have
and
interview
whatnot.
sections in between.
They cut in between like what's going on in the movie. And then, looking back retrospectively on what was going through their mind at the time. It's a fantastic movie. I definitely recommend check it out.
That's one of the few I still haven't seen. Like I have this like little short list of ones I do want to see still, and that's one of them.
Yeah, check it out for sure.
So my number 8, I'm actually gonna just look at it because I don't want to think about it too long. Because I do pretty much know it by heart, but I want to make sure I don't get the wrong order for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 8 is a movie I didn't even think was gonna make my list until I rewatched it. It's Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh,
it's a fantastic action movie. We'll talk about it more later, but like as for what I can say now, it's like Tom Cruise at the top of his game. This is is it the best Mission Impossible? It's really tough. I love Ghost Protocol maybe a little more. I don't know.
I would say it's
really tough because this has the better climax than Ghost Protocol did, but everything leading up to the climax I think is better in Ghost
and also,
Protocol.
I'd say the better villain too.
Yeah.
Best villain of the
But we're not going to spoil.
Yes.
Oh,
If you haven't seen the movie yet.
Yes, well, best twist villain. Because there's like 2 villains in the movie technically. But no, yeah, amazing, I almost said conclusion. Amazing continuation of this franchise that just keeps getting better and better. So like, I'm up for like 20 more of these movies. They're already making 2 back to back, I know.
Nice.
So it's like, I loved Fallout. A fantastic action movie. And yeah, I'll let him talk about it more.
That's it. If I've been quiet on movies they're sitting on their list, it means I'll have my opinions on them in a little bit.
So you're number 8.
My number 8 is Hereditary.
Oh,
good.
That's a big thing because I do not like horror movies. I either find them very boring or I'm a big chicken and I do not want to watch them. But this, holy crap, they said before, Toni Collette,
so good.
the lead woman, she is phenomenal. And also her son, Alex Wolff.
Yes,
he's great, yeah.
Fantastic as well. And then, big thing for me, it doesn't rely on jump scares.
Not at all. It's tension.
Thank you, God. Finally.
And it's more of a drama too, which is another thing I love about it.
But once again, probably the best horror movie of the year.
Yes, without a doubt.
I was so mad it couldn't make my list. I was like, I tried. I was like, damn you, beautiful boy. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have seen it. It's like, but no, yeah.
And then I'm thinking we might hear more about it later. But go ahead, Perry. Continue.
My
number 7, right?
Yes.
Okay. Man, we're just cracking it up. Man.
My number 7, Yorgos Lanthimos' The Favorite.
Great
I'm
movie.
not the biggest Emma Stone fan, but I was in love with her in this movie. I mean, all the performances from Olivia Colman and Rachel Weisz, fantastic. And a lot of people aren't going to like the ending of this movie. I love the ending.
I liked the ending. I did think it was a little abrupt, but like after I thought about it more, I do like it more. It's a great movie. It just didn't make my list.
It's not like watching a comic book film where, these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. Each of the characters, they all walk a moral gray area.
They are people. Like, it's not...
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
They're
there's
people.
really no good and bad.
Right, they all have their motivations, and they all do bad, and they all do good, and you can get behind some of the characters, and some of the characters you find really despicable,
Yes.
And some characters that you think you're getting behind, you think of despicable later on in the movie. It's just such a brilliantly written and directed film. And the performances are fantastic. There's really not much more I can say about this movie. Go watch this movie.
It's great.
Yorgos Lanthimos, in case you were watching this, which you're probably not, you're one of my favorite directors right now. Keep doing what you're doing.
Lobster's great. This movie's great. It's like
Killing
Sacred Deer is really good. It's like
Dogtooth.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Dogtooth, but like that's been on my watch list because I hear interesting things about that.
I haven't seen any of those.
But yeah, it's like The Favorite's a great movie. It just didn't make my list. It's like there's just so many good movies. There's my honorable mentions.
What is your number 7?
My number 7, I have to get back out because I keep forgetting the exact order. Oh, okay. So my number 7 is probably the smallest movie on my list because a lot of my smaller movies are in my like 11 to 30, and it's Upgrade.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Yes.
Upgrade is it's like an amazing like high budget Twilight Zone episode. Almost like it's kind of in that vein. It has like all the twists and turns of that kind of thing. It's dark, but it's also hilarious at the same time. It's like it walks a good a fine line, if you will.
Yes.
Oh yeah, of being like kind of dark and you're not sure exactly what's going on, but you're also really having a lot of fun with the ride. There's great action in the movie. Logan Marshall Green's amazing. It's the better version of Venom, basically. It's just a good version of Venom. And yeah, we'll talk about it more later.
Oh, yes indeed.
But fantastic movie, yeah.
All right, my number 7 is Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Momoa is the man. Oh no, but the thing, he is a very great lead. It's just he needs that little bit extra polish on his line delivery and stuff. And my only complaint with the movie, him and Amber Heard. Just no.
I told you that. I was like, that was my biggest thing.
Yeah, so the two then don't go. But so then to the opposite of that, the good chemistry are the parents.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman and Jango Fett are great. That's my favorite part of the movie.
Yes, exactly. Then insanely good like CGI and visuals. This is one of the
Screw you, Black Panther. What the heck?
Yeah, this is one of the prettiest movies you will ever see. Fantastic action scenes, a satisfying climax, good villains too.
I like
just very, very good movie. DCEU is definitely on the upturn.
It's a fun movie. I had more problems with it. I have to see it again. But yes, I get why it's on there though. It's like, yeah, I remember walking out. You were on a high, and I was like, yeah.
No, yeah.
I mean, we saw 3 movies that day, so
Yeah.
that probably was my favorite of the 3.
Yeah, and then of course it doesn't beat you over the head with the save the ocean,
save the environment. Like it doesn't actually literally like come out and horsewhip you.
Yeah, no.
Like I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a random
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World 2. There you go. I was trying to think. I was like, I know there's one this year. Nah.
No. All right, Perry.
But number 6.
Number 6, Lars von Trier's The House That Jack Built.
Great movie.
This is the most divisive film on.
No, you hate it, yeah.
Well, I know I haven't seen it. Just you describing it.
No, I told you, yeah.
A lot of people hate this movie. It's on a lot of people's worst list. I don't understand the hate for it. Some of it feels a little self-indulgent, and I can see how people would find this pretentious. But the lead actor, Matt Dillon, this is his best performance since Drugstore Cowboy, and that came out in the late 80s. So I think that is really saying something because he's a great actor. I mean, you weren't even looking at Matt Dillon. You were looking at a serial killer named Jack, and you were just so invested and disturbed by everything that was put in front of you. And it actually had a lot of substance to it. Some of it explained the meaning of certain things, and it does deal with themes that Von Trier has dealt with before, but it hasn't dealt with these themes in such a shocking and impactful, memorable way in all of his movies. This may be the definitive Lars von Trier movie.
You said everything basically I would have said. Love this movie. Didn't make my list, but yeah, Matt Dillon, holy my God, he's so good. Oh yeah, it's a disturbing movie, but it's right up my alley in that sense.
Right.
But it's not disturbing for the sake of just being disturbing.
It's not shock value.
Yes,
it's not just shock value.
It's not hostile. Like it's legitimately, it has substance, it has character.
Right.
It takes its time. It's a legitimately good story. Okay, so is that what you want to say?
Yes. Oh, and also the way the story is told and the references to like the Bible and Dante's Inferno, I really appreciated about it. A lot of people hated the ending. I love the ending because it really captured the human condition. It really captured the human condition and how we live in a moral gray area. How we're somehow God and the devil at the same time. And we always have to come to terms with what's right and what's wrong and how we see morality.
I like the movie. It's a great movie. So Tyler hasn't seen it, but
no. He's not gonna watch it.
You would not like it.
Yeah,
it's
that's a little too disturbing for my taste.
It's like, yeah, if Hereditary got to
Yeah.
It's
Especially
nothing.
the scenes you describe.
Yeah, it's even more beautiful in the actual movie.
I don't doubt it.
And it has Elvis Presley's granddaughter in there. She plays a character named Simple. Look out for her.
That's one of the better scenes in that movie too. That's probably my favorite sequence in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 6 is not on either of y'all's lists. It is the Golden Globe Best Picture Drama winner, Bohemian Rhapsody. I love Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm a huge Queen fan, so it's like there is a little bias there, for sure. I won't lie, but like it's a legitimately well-told biopic, which we see so many biopics these days. It's just, for me, this one was really energized and refreshing versus your standard biopic. It was like one ear out the other. It's like, yeah, the story's pretty simple, but it has enough energy, and it has Rami Malek's amazing performance to carry it. And it's actually like, it's the subject matter I really care about. The band itself really is just. I was a huge Queen fan. It plays as like a greatest hits album almost, but I mean that in like a good way. I don't mean that in just. Let's throw Queen's greatest hits in here and just try to write a story around it. It does take its time with its story. It does have good character. And yeah, it's not 100% factually correct, but if it was, this movie wouldn't exist, like, or just at least wouldn't be very good. It's like, you gotta have some kind of...
Yeah, it was like, when they wanted to end the movie, it didn't make sense to keep it perfectly accurate.
Yes. It's like, yeah, because like I know the whole Live Aid thing, like the AIDS and all that. It's like I get it. I get why people are like, oh, it's not historically accurate. But it's like I love it. I think it works perfectly for the narrative, and the Live Aid sequence is probably the best ending scene this year, or at least one of them. It's up there.
Definitely.
I say yeah.
Now that's someone who's not even a Queen fan. I really enjoyed it.
I say yeah. I didn't get you into Queen, but I got you to enjoy a Queen movie.
Yeah, that's like. Yeah, then of course Rami Malek, like,
yes,
what
incredible.
more can you say?
Right.
He's incredible.
He's the one actor I will let win the Oscar over Bradley Cooper. He's not better, but I will let him, I will be fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're number 6.
Alright, my number 6, Overlord.
Hell yeah.
At first, when I first came out of the movie, I was kind of lukewarm on it. I was like, it was okay, but the more I stewed on it, I love this movie.
It's so good.
It is fantastic.
It's in my top 20.
Yes, because of course, once again, a horror movie that does not rely on jump scares.
No, it starts off as a legitimate war movie, and then it builds its way into being a horror movie.
And the opening sequence is fantastic.
The sound mixing in this movie is like, I usually don't notice sound mixing as much, but holy shit.
And then some genuinely creepy themes, and when the lead actor, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, when he's going through the bunker and you hear someone calling for help.
Oh, John Boyega, Daniel Kaluuya.
And then he goes to investigate, and then once you see what it is, it's like, ugh!
Yep. And Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell. He is the man.
He's his father's son.
Yes. If there's ever Snake Plissken Jr.,
yes,
that is Wyatt Russell. And once again, a well-deserved hero's arc for him in the end.
Yes.
And then, of course, there were some plot contrivances.
Sure. Every movie, though.
Yeah, but no movie would be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
But I really enjoyed it, so...
Yeah, great movie.
Onward.
Number 5. This is another one that a lot of you haven't heard of. Jim Cummings, written, directing, and starring Jim Cummings, Thunder Road.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
One of the best acting performances of 2018. I'd say it's even better than Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody. Just a fantastic film. It's so emotionally draining, but it's so well deserved. And the ending, there's a certain thing that happens towards the climax of this film. I lost it when it happened, and I'm sure when you watch it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But this film absolutely floored me. I know a lot of people like mainstream movies, but go out there and look for these gems that are making my top 10. You won't be sorry, and you definitely won't be sorry with Thunder Road.
So yeah, it's also on my short list of things I need to watch. It's that, Wildlife, American Animals, and a couple others. Alright, so... we're on number 5, right? Okay. My number 5 is Green Book. So it's like we kind of already did talk about it, but there isn't too much more I can bring up. But yeah, fantastic movie, great lead performances. Like say Viggo Mortensen, I think was robbed at the Golden Globes. Like I won't lie, I was like Christian Bale, screw you.
Yeah, you know,
but yeah,
Hollywood and their politically correct.
We love Christian Bale. I'm wearing my
I love Christian Bale. Yeah, sure. I love American Psycho. It's just Christ. But no, I love Green Book. I already talked a lot about it when Harry brought it up, so I won't talk too much more about it. But if Tyler wants to add anything like later on, we'll talk to it actually. Yeah, later on. So you can, but yeah, that's my number 5.
All right, my number 5 is a little hidden gem might come out this year. It's Avengers: Infinity War.
I've never heard of it.
Man, what's that? It's like, was it directed by Jim Cummings?
It's the latest Russo brothers movie.
Who are they? Oh, no, those guys who made Me, You, and Dupree, or whatever. Me and Dupree with Owen Wilson. They actually did make that.
And Matt Dillon.
Yeah, Matt Dillon, yeah.
Though, yeah, or then because this movie, of course, like, we can talk about spoilers, because who hasn't seen this movie at this point? $2 billion movie, the biggest movie of all time. And of course, not all the Marvel movies are great, but this one is something special. For 20 movies and 10 years building up to it, they absolutely nailed it. Josh Brolin, the best villain they've had all time, because they actually let him win. Holy crap.
Yes, we have stakes in this movie for once. Like,
I know, which please don't be undone in the very next movie.
I don't mind if they undo it if they do something else instead of like, I'm trying to like keep it back. It's like, if they add stakes in the next movie, if there's some kind of consequence for undoing this, I'm fine. Like, I will be good.
And then, of course, best scene in the movie, when Thor gets his axe and crashes down into Wakanda. Just, holy crap. I think it have made that more epic if it was his Led Zeppelin theme.
And there's also a cameo from a super villain you have not seen in a long time. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, watch this movie.
So I know what they were going through. I was like, keep some things from
right.
Like some things a little
but this cameo, I feel like I really appreciate it, and I feel like the fans are really going to appreciate it.
When I saw it in theaters, it was one of those things where I was like, everyone was like, huh? Now for Paris, number 4.
And my number 4, and this is a film on Netflix, but it did get a theatrical release, Roma. This film, this is one of the most, it's really hard to describe. If it's really hard for me to express how great this film is, it's because it moves you. It moves you. This is something that's going to stick with you long after you watch this film. And
I only remember one scene from the movie, so I don't know if I could say that.
I never saw it.
And what's crazy is this is a film that doesn't focus on a serial killer or a superhero. It focuses on a maid in Mexico that works for this, this Hispanic family that's wealthy. And all her trials and tribulations and her dealing with her pregnancy and the absentee father and how it brings the family closer together. It's really going to stick a knife in you, and it's going to draw out very slowly, just like a blade. This movie had me in tears by the end of this film. Like, I was bawling by the end of this film because it impacted me so emotionally. And that's why it's hard for me to express why you should go watch this movie, because it's stunning. It's really stunning. You're flabbergasted and you don't know what to say for the longest time after watching this film. I'm pulling for it to win Best Picture.
So I actually think it has a chance. Like, it's the only one I could see actually winning.
And then, of course, don't let the foreign film throw you off.
Yeah, don't let the fact that this film has subtitles.
Oh, no, that wasn't my problem with it at all.
Yeah, don't let the fact that this film has subtitles and that everyone speaks in Spanish and you have to read be the reason you don't watch this movie. Because if you don't watch this movie, you're really missing out on a just emotionally charged tour de force of a film. That's my number 4.
I can't say much more than I like Romo. It was fine. Alright, my number 4 we already talked about, Infinity War. So I can't really add much more to that.
I can. The best scene in the movie. Sorry if you still haven't seen it. Tom Holland died.
Yeah!
The best live action
Spider-Man.
Whoever said Thanos was the best villain in my eyes, the best hero story in a movie.
But it is Thanos' story, so to be fair. I said no. I can't add too much more about it. Yeah, it's the biggest movie ever of all time. It's like the fact that they actually pulled it off and didn't make it feel bloated with all these different heroes. Didn't make it feel really jumbled and confused and tonally off. That's something to commend. And yes, fantastic movie. Love it. We already talked about it. Can't really say too much else.
Yeah, all right, my number 4 is Leave No Trace.
Which that didn't surprise me.
They elaborated on it earlier, but just wow. This is because you would think, some cheap movies are just like, oh yeah, we'll go film out in the woods because it's cheap or whatever, and no one can bother us. But no, this does it very well. And of course, they've said it before, the father and daughter actors, absolutely phenomenal. A gut punch of an ending, just wow. And then like he said, it let film be film.
It's a good movie. Yeah. It's like, I can't say I liked it as much, but good movie.
And my number 3, Alex Garland's Annihilation.
Also a great movie.
Yes.
I mean, you want to talk about one of the most thematically rich films of 2018, look no further. It's very thought-provoking, and I feel like a lot of science fiction has become too spoon-feedy. This film is not that. It's very, it doesn't spoon-feed the audience, and the visuals are fantastic. And it's not a what I'd call a horror movie, but it has horror elements because it has some of the most disturbing imagery I've seen all year.
Oh God, that bear!
Yes, I've seen that.
I don't want to spoil it. We don't want to spoil it. But I mean, this film actually blew me away, and this Black Swan's always been my favorite Natalie Portman film, but I'd say this gives Black Swan a run for its money.
Yeah, great movie. It was my number 30, I think. Okay, so my number 3 is a movie that wasn't on either of y'all's lists. I know you haven't seen it, so it's like after. So obviously we're talking about movies that brought you to tears. Love, Simon did that for me. I love Simon. This has one of the best endings as well. I was talking about endings earlier with Bo Rap. It's this. My God, it's this is by far one of the better YA adaptations. Maybe the best one as far as the action. I don't know, Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter, but and then Lord of the Rings, but that's not really YA. So yeah, of course, that's my number 1. How did I just spoil it? No, it's an incredible movie. The actors, all great. It's I love how all these actors are actually getting work now after this movie, because we have 3 movies playing at the theater with the actors from this movie. We have A Dog's Way Home, which is terrible, but it has forget her name. Abby's her name in the movie, so Abby from Love, Simon is in Dog's Way Home. Then we got Martin from Love, Simon in Escape Room, and then we got Nick from Love, Simon and Bumblebee. So I love how Nick Robinson's the only one who hasn't done anything yet since that movie. But I mean, I liked him even before this movie though, because I saw Kings of Summer back in 2013, and that's a great movie that no one saw. So, and then there was he was okay in Jurassic World, I guess, but it's he's giving up and did in that movie. So yeah, but he's fantastic here. It's a great story. It's very simple. It's a movie where people talk about their feelings. But it's not Shyamalan dialogue where everyone wants to over-explain everything and how they feel. It's just people talking, and you genuinely care about the characters. It's about this kid and his life, and it just so happens that he's gay. So it's there you go. It's definitely one of the smaller movies on my list here, but it's one of the more impactful for me personally. Anyway. Yep, love that movie.
then my number 3 we talked about earlier, Green Book.
Yep, I know top 3.
The best feel-good movie of the year. Like, you will walk out laughing, smiling. This is an absolute joy to watch. And then once again, they do not beat you over the head with its, peace period where it's during the racial tensions in the South, because it shows the good and the bad, not just the bad, where they're like, oh, everybody in the South, every white person was racist. Like, no, they show you the good side of the people down there too. So that was very well done.
Yep.
And, all right.
My number 2, Ari Aster's Hereditary.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean, we talked about this earlier. Like, Toni Collette, we cannot stress enough how great this woman is. It's like, you thought she was good in Sixth Sense? Oh, just wait. You haven't seen nothing yet.
The dinner scene, my God.
The dinner scene and the ending of this movie, a lot of people were disappointed by. I loved. I was on the edge of my seat. And there's, towards the end of the act, I was literally jumping out of my seat. Like, I was ready to jump in the back row because that's how terrified I was. I honestly, I'm not saying it's the next Exorcist, but I haven't been this terrified by a movie since watching William Friedkin's The Exorcist.
I'll say it's the next Exorcist. I like this movie more than The Exorcist.
Oh, wow.
I do. I don't love The Exorcist.
Comment section, get on him. Did you hear what he just said?
I'm not the only one. I'm not alone on that. But no, although I probably am still in the minority.
I did not care for The Exorcist.
Did you find it shallow and pedantic?
Perhaps.
No, I like The Exorcist. I just like this movie more.
Oh good Lord, her like banging her head.
Oh my God.
That was horrifying.
It's great, yeah. Ari Aster has a new movie coming out this year.
Yes.
I'm very curious.
Midsummer. But yeah, like I said, we've touched on Hereditary. We cannot stress how how great this film is. My number 2. And I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy.
So yeah, much like my my number 3, my number 2 is another movie I haven't talked about yet, really. It's like, y'all will know what my number 1 is when I say this. I changed this yesterday. I'm trying to get some preface here. This was my number 1 yesterday, so it's like, it's tough, it could change. But A Star Is Born legitimately blew me away, like, Jesus Christ. I was like, Bradley Cooper, as I said, I've already said it, one of the best performances since Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. Not on that level, but one of the best since then. I was like, yeah, you have Heath Ledger as Joker, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to put him, like, there, but, like, where they are, he's, like, down there somewhere, like, and then under there's, I don't know who else, but, like, just, it's like, point is, the dude deserves the Oscar, finally. It'll be like, if he doesn't get it, this will be, like, the 8th time he's been snubbed. Like, Jesus Christ, like, poor man, like, he puts his heart and soul into this. That fact that this movie didn't blow because it was his first directorial debut, like, Jesus Christ, like, this dude had so much, like, on his shoulders making this movie, and it turned out beautifully. It's a story we've seen, like, 4 times before, or 3 times, whatever, but it feels so fresh here and revitalized, and the soundtrack's incredible. Lady Gaga is gives a great performance as well, and their chemistry is magnificent. Amazing movie, heartbreaking. Okay, my number 2.
Yeah. All right, my number 2, Upgrade.
Hell yeah!
If RoboCop and Blade Runner, the original, had a baby,
There you go.
it is Upgrade. And if that doesn't sell it enough, just awesomely directed action sequences. Like, the camera is attached to the protagonist, so how he moves, the camera is right there with him. And fantastic twist reveal in the 3rd act.
Just amazing ending.
Yeah, Upgrade is phenomenal. Like,
So brutal.
Yes. Oh my God, that scene with the kitchen knife. Good Lord.
I know, it's so good.
Good Lord. But yes, absolutely. As in, they've said it, or he said it before earlier, and I'll say it again. Just watch it. It is amazing.
It's so good. It's like the most overlooked movie of the year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, because when we had it at the theater, maybe like 4 people showed up to it.
Yeah.
I was one of those 4 people.
It's an absolute shame when we had, of course, Jurassic World was $1 billion movie. Okay. All right, Perry, number 1.
My number 1, and the film that wins for 2018, Lynn Ramsey's You Were Never Really Here. Again, you want to talk about a film that lets film be film. It doesn't explain, but it doesn't over-explain. It show me, don't tell me. You Were Never Really Here is that film. And Joaquin Phoenix performance, the best acting performance of 2018, hands down. I mean, such disturbing imagery. This film, imagine someone wrapping their hands around your throat. This film does that and shakes you for an hour and 20 minutes. And by the end of it, you feel lifeless, but it feels so rewarding to have to sit through this movie. I've watched it at least 4 or 5 times since I've seen it. I cannot stress enough how phenomenal this film is. And the Academy's always talking about there's no diversity. Lynn Ramsey, she should be nominated for Best Director, and she should win Best Director. This is the best directed, best acted, best written, best everything of 2018. This film is incredible, godly, and I actually gave it a perfect 10 out of 10 rating. I don't have a YouTube channel, I just rate movies, but I gave it the perfect 10 out of 10 score.
It's like a 7 out of 10.
Comment section, get on him.
No, actually, I feel like people are more in agreement with me than they are you from what I've seen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's cool. It's like, well, you loved it.
It's like, I enjoyed it. Just
yeah, I liked it.
Not as much, but yeah.
It was like the same thing with Leave No Trace and Roma. It's like, I liked it.
Yeah. No, so then plus you made a good point. Like if Marvel is now wanting to just hire based off of gender, so they're saying, oh yeah, we're only going to cast women directors and women leads. Like, well, do it right.
Lynn Ramsey.
Hire
Lynn
this
Ramsey.
director. Yeah. I say, basically, if you're going to hire by gender, at least hire by the best stuff.
And they've been hiring a lot of indie directors, so like, why not?
Yeah. I mean,
Lynn
Taika
Ramsey
Waititi with Thor Ragnarok.
Lynn Ramsey should have done Captain Marvel. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but it's like, we'll see.
No. All right.
Okay.
Here
So
we
it's
go.
like, yeah, y'all know my number one, but it's like, before that, it's like, I will say this was probably the hardest decision for number one I ever had. I say that like every year, but so I had to pick between this movie and a Star Wars one because it was like I was like, which one would I rather watch? Which one would I just like casually watch any time of day? And that's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's like I am an enormous Spider-Man fan, and it's like, and I love Miles Morales. I love Peter Parker. It's like I love all these characters before this movie even. This movie made me love them even more. It took what made them great in the comics and actually gave them life here. It's like animated Spider-Man is a legit way to do Spider-Man. Now we know. It's like it works so well. Like Miles Morales is a fantastic protagonist. I loved seeing his story, his whole arc. But everyone else also has their mini arcs throughout the movie that makes it feel like a complete whole. And it's like all characters that are fleshed out. You care for them. It's a plot that's it's fairly standard, but it's like whatever every comic book movie plot is. Like it feels refreshing. It's part satire, but it also takes itself seriously. You have Nicolas Cage cracking up like noir jokes every once in a while, but you have legitimately serious moments as well. Like there's a certain death scene that's like really like it hits hard.
Yeah.
It's like
absolutely.
And the voice acting all magnificent. The visual effects breathtaking. The animation here is just it's so good. It's like why is Black Panther in consideration for visual effects over this movie? Like what the hell?
No, it does not make
sense. I mean Aquaman too, but it's like look at the effects.
And we're not saying Black Panther's a bad
movie. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's just it's not a great movie.
It's just people hyped it up way too much, and people made it out to be some kind of masterpiece. When the film's like a 7 out of 10.
Exactly. It doesn't have the story and characters that something like Spider-Verse.
Right.
Exactly.
You take out Michael B. Jordan out of Black Panther.
The characters are bland as hell.
You lose your movie.
Chadwick Boseman's I like the actor. Characters nothing though.
No.
Howard Blandy.
The warrior monk persona is fine, but compared to actual people with character and charisma, screen presence, the warrior monk just falls flat.
The voice acting in this movie is better than almost every performance in Black Panther. Michael B. Jordan obviously is the crowning gem of that movie.
No, I was gonna say, Sony was pushing for Venom in all categories. They're pushing the wrong movie.
Right.
I mean, they are pushing this one too, but not as much as they did for Venom apparently.
Yeah.
It's from what I heard at least, because this isn't even getting the best picture push, and I was like, come on. Like, I won't get the nom, but it's like, I would have liked them to try.
Yeah.
Same with Infinity War, but it's like, this is the best comic book movie of the year. It's probably it's up there with my all-time favorites. It's probably the best one we've seen since The Dark Knight. I'll go that far. I might like it more than The Dark Knight, but it's like, I like a couple movies.
Wow.
Well, but then again, I say this is an unpopular opinion. I think the Dark Knight movies have aged.
They have.
They've
yeah.
aged.
Especially Rises. Rises is not aged as well, but like I still like the movie, but it's like, but no, it's like I feel like it may not be better than The Dark Knight necessarily, but there are movies I prefer, like comic book movies I prefer, and this is definitely one of those. Fantastic movie, loved it. Okay, finally, Tyler's number one.
Let's see. What you've all been waiting for.
The battery's getting low too, so this is just in time.
Yeah. My number one is Mission Impossible Fallout.
That's why I saved my.
Yeah, this is the best action movie of the year. This is the best movie in the series. Just flawless action movie because it knows just when to ramp up the pace. Then you have the cool down after it to set up for the next big set piece.
Yep,
exactly. There is a reason there has not been a Bond movie in 4 years. That's because of Tom Cruise doing God's work.
I like this movie more than all of the Bond movies, except it's like I think I like it more than Casino Royale.
Yeah, that was sorry Eva Green, but this movie just. Great supporting cast. Henry Cavill, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames. All just knock it out of the park.
Yeah. Angela Bassett.
Yes.
For the little screen time she has, she's great.